Welcome to Albany, the capital city of New York. Albany has been a center of higher education for over a century and has recently experienced a large growth in high technology industry. So whether you're moving to the area for a new job or just for a change of scenery, we'd like to introduce you to the individuals that can turn your dream home into a reality. They are the experienced team of Bordeau Builders.
I got into building homes. I was kind of tossed to the dogs. I quit school in 9th grade and my dad said, you got to get out and get a job. So I started in a roofing company, pumping shingles all day long, and soon found out that that wasn't the easiest thing to do. I was 22 years old and I bought my first building lot. I borrowed the money from my mom and dad, most of their savings. They went out on a line for me. I went ahead and got the house up, and it was in '89. It was a rough market. I ended up losing on the house. So the next couple of years I fought back, got all the money back, paid my parents back, and ended up getting another 2 or 3 houses in the following years, and it started parlaying into more and more homes that I was building. And I decided that I needed to get land, so I started developing small pieces of land.
They're going to move a lot of this fill out of here in the next 2 weeks and get all this stabilized.
You know, 4 lots here, 3 lots here, and before you know it, I was starting to put roads in. We did, 15 lots, 20 lots, and it was amazing. You'd go in and you'd cut down the trees and smell the pine and the oak, and you had a vision. You brought it through the planning boards, and that was always a tough battle to get something approved. And all of a sudden you'd sell a house and you'd get a family moved in, and you'd just see the emotions on their face on how happy they were, and the neighborhood would fill, the lawns would grow, and you knew that you were really providing a need for people. We're a small family-run business, which is very difficult because I have 3 boys that work in the organization on the team, and sometimes that can be very difficult. I've had a foreman that worked for me, Brad Coyer, for 24 years, and he's my right-hand man. He's an extension of my fingers.
I got into building, actually, I got out of college, and it was, I needed a job, and I started with a contractor. I always liked being outside, and I never left. I've been in building ever since.
Michael is second in line. He's getting groomed to, build some houses on his own. So we've actually given him a plot, and now he's supervising. He was the type of kid that would get out of school early and he'd come to work. He'd drive to the job and, start working at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and work to 7 at night. My son Nicholas, he's the youngest boy, and he is getting his feet underneath him. He's learning from the bottom up. He's the gopher. He goes and gets whatever needs to be done. He does all the cleaning. He does a lot of concrete prep. He's starting to do some framing punch out to understand what to look for in the houses, if there's nailing patterns that are not proper, if there's bad studs, bowed lumber that has to be taken out after it's framed, because it all dries and it all wants to go the way that it grew. And my son Joe, he's the oldest, and Joe was on the job site, and it was kind of funny because we bought him a new truck, and he wanted to be a foreman, and I says, you really got to start at the bottom. You got to start like I did, digging ditches.
I originally started working for him after college, and I was a laborer. I'd have to go around to the job sites and pick up all the stuff and all the boards and throw them in the garbage and do a lot of the concrete prep work, and I hated it. It was the worst.
The joke on the job was, where's Joe? You know, I bought him a truck, he put 50,000 miles on it the one year. He was never on the job, so I set him down and, you know, I actually had to let him go.
I left Bordeaux Builders for about 1.5 years, and I came back into the building business, and after I spoke with my father and say, hey, I'll come back, but I'm not going to be building any houses or swinging any hammers. He goes, well, what do you want to do? He says, hey, I'm pretty good at sales. I want to become a realtor.
So he went ahead and got his realty license, and he's done a wonderful job with all the marketing. You know, I had a very hard time at times listening to young ideas, and I always thought it was my way all the time. And I listened to him, and I really had to reach deep to bring myself to let some of his ideas go forward. And I let him run with some stuff, and you know, it worked out really well, and it taught me a lesson that you really have to have youth in the business to make the business successful.
Good morning, Bordeaux Builders.
Kim O'Reilly in our office, she handles all the service calls and handles putting the contracts together for myself. She is the head person in the office. She's a very important aspect of Bordeaux Builders as well.
Subcontractors are an extension of your fingers on crafting the house, and you also have vendors. And one of the vendors that I'm most loyal to is Bellevue Builder Supply. Bellevue, I've been with for over 30 years. They're very loyal people. If you need something, they get it out to you in record time. They'll carry the products. If there's something wrong with their product, you can sit them down and say, hey, we need to adjust the margins on this door, and they listen. They'll either change their vendor or they'll make the adjustment for you.
Don't go anywhere. American Builder will be right back. Welcome back to Albany, New York. Before the break, we met the team behind Bordeaux Builders and learned how they got started. Now, Gary and Joe would like to walk you through a few job sites to show you what goes into a Bordeaux built home.
This is our new development, Inglewood Estates. This is going to be townhomes located in Half Moon, New York. This is going to range in square footage just from 1,600 square feet to just under 2,100 square feet. So I wanted to talk about a little things that we do different at Bordeaux Builders, Inc. Some of our products that we use are above and beyond what our competition will use, such as the zip system. This is an Avantech product. The zip system is already Tyvek applied, which keeps the house that much drier. The reason that we want to keep your house that much more drier is that your house will have less nail pops in the sheetrock and less cracking in the sheetrock. I want to talk about the fiber mesh in the concrete. The reason that we use fiber mesh in the concrete, it prevents cracking in our floor. We also saw cut all of our floors. What we also do to prevent any kind of settling or cracking in any of our flat surfaces throughout our homes is we also use 1/2-inch rebar, which we drill into the foundation, and then we do a 2-foot grid system throughout any type of porches, sidewalks, or garage floors.
The way that we're unique at Bordeaux Builders is that we're going to build your house right the first time.
I can see something a 1/16 of an inch across a 20-foot room. That's not right. You know, it wouldn't matter to anybody else but me, but it matters to me, and I say fix it. I don't like that. But nothing. It's what I want. It's my vision. Joe, they just installed these granite countertops, and I noticed that the margin on this overhang is wrong. We're about 3/16 from this side to that side. They should have relieved this outside cut and moved this top this way. We're gonna have to call them back. They're gonna have to pull the top and adjust it and recut it and reset it.
We're not going to cut any corners to save us any kind of money.
Jerry, what height do you want the vent at?
I'd say 6 inches above that piece of siding there. Why don't you slide it up and let's take a look at it?
We're big on building the house right from the get-go the first time and getting you a perfect product so that we don't have callbacks and we have a good reputation because it's our last name and our name is on your house.
I think Bordeaux Builders, in relation to the competition, we really strive to give the best possible product at the price point we're at. We really put extra effort into the house. Gary puts extra, the materials, different things that we do to make sure the house comes out as best as possible.
Bordeaux Builders, this is some of their custom millwork. We glue and fit all of the miters. There's no caulk used in these. We come down and we do a custom detail here. Everything, the casings are fit to the floor tight. All the joints are nice and snug and it's all glued. This eliminates any type of pulling away from the wall or cracking in the future. It's a very good high quality product. You can see the attention to detail around the fireplace with the inlay tumbled marble tile and the hand-built mantle that we built on site.
Now that we saw a home that was under construction, we want to take you into a finished home at Bordeaux Builders. I'd like to show you something different that we do in all of our houses is the cased opening. It's made out of a pure piece of birch lumber core. We also, all of our upgrades that we might have that certain clients pick is the chair rail, the upper crown, and the lower crown. It puts a nice finishing touch on the home.
The client is very important. Without knowing what their needs are, it's very hard to build a house for them. And asking personal questions sometimes, people look at me and say, what? And I'll ask, well, we're going to build a custom shower for you. We want to put a seat in here. You're going to shave your leg on that seat. How high would you like it? And we're going to put a bottle shelf in here for your soaps and shampoos, and how large do you use so we can accommodate those bottles. If we built a bottle shelf this big and it's 6 inches high and her bottle's 12, she's not going to be too happy.
Here's an example of a custom shower at Bordeaux Builders. This shower is equipped with a custom seat, custom tile, a transom window, and body jets. Another big feature that we have in a lot of our homes, if it's the lot will allow us to do it, is a walkout basement. It's a very nice option to have if you're looking for egress to your backyard directly from your basement. I see a lot of clients do this when they have an in-ground pool. It makes a real nice transition to the outside to your backyard. If there was one thing that I could tell our future clients at Bordeaux Builders Inc., it would be that we are a fully custom builder, and we're going to bring them a product that no one else can bring them. Our homes are extremely custom. We can do anything that they can ever think of within a price range that they can afford.
We're going to strive to give you the product you want. We're going to bend over backwards to tweak the house any way you want it. We'll change on the fly if we have to. If there's a late change order, we'll address that. It's giving you the product you want and having a satisfied customer.
Stick with us, because we're speaking with past clients of Bordeaux Builders when American Builder returns. Welcome back to Albany, New York. We've been speaking with the amazing team behind Bordeaux Builders. Now, we'd like to hear directly from past clients on their experience and what it's like to build a custom home with Bordeaux Builders, Inc.
I was a neighbor of Gary's up at Top of the World, and we knew him for about 5 years. And we were right next door, and I saw how he treated his family and how he treated his parents. And he was so meticulous about the way he kept his own home that I knew Gary was the builder I wanted.
We decided to build our beautiful custom home with Bordeaux Builders. We knew from other areas where we had visited where Gary and his team had built. It was a very high quality product, and I had heard a lot of good response about working with Gary Bordeaux and his team, and so we did know that we did want to be a part of that experience with Bordeaux Builders.
I built my first house about 6 or 7 years ago, and we knew what we wanted, and we knew the people that we wanted to build it. They're good friends of ours, and they did a great job, Bordeaux Builders.
He's a great builder, and to me, the most important thing was someone that I could really trust and brought together a quality product that For me, the distance was a big issue because I was downstate. This was kind of a second home, a place we would like to retire to. I wasn't going to be able to be here all the time, so I really needed someone who could build me a quality home, someone I could trust, and Gary was the person I wanted.
I think our company is unique in a way that every employee and all our subs put all their hearts into what they do to provide these homes to our clients.
Gary and his team at Bordeaux Builders, I can't say enough good about. From all of our communications with Gary and his office team, to the subcontractors, to the actual people working on the home, everybody was very available, very polite, would answer any question. If they didn't have the answer, they would get the answer and get right back to me. And I can't say enough good about it, and extremely high quality all the way around.
Well, working with the whole team, mostly with Brad. Brad was on the job a lot, Gary was here a lot, and Kim, his secretary. I spoke to her almost every day, and she was always so pleasant and on top of things. If I felt I needed to call, I called, and they were always, never made me feel like, oh, it's her again. It was just, hi, how you doing? We'll get right to that, I'll get back to you, and it was very easy. And many people are so surprised, well, are you still friends with your builder? I'm like, yeah, I'm still friends with my builder. And we're good friends now. And they said that's very unusual, and it surprised me because this was my really first experience with a builder, and it was great.
We're in the customer service business ourselves, and more oftentimes than not, you're generally let down in any people-to-people type interaction. And I can honestly say that they went on and beyond in every aspect, from the office to Gary to Joe to Brad. They were always there for anything that we needed, which is important. They made it urgent, and time really didn't go by in the essence of answering our questions.
Opening the doors to your future, they just get in a brand new home, they open up the front door, the door opens, and their future starts in that home. That home is going to be there for years and years of their happiness. They're going to hear their children laugh in there. They're going to have birthday parties in there, graduations. It's life within that home, and that home is so important to life.
I feel Gary is very family oriented. Certainly when we walk into Bordeaux offices, he certainly has a lot of family pictures. His son Joe was right there. He was the first Bordeaux that we had met, and absolutely along the entire process, he was always very family oriented, would talk about that family birthday party, the birth of his grandson. And certainly, I think that really gave a special touch to our relationship with Gary.
Opening the doors to your future, I think whether this is Bordeaux Builders builds your first home or your last home, it's something that you can be proud of. It's something that I think anyone can live in for their entire life because of the quality and the thought that goes into it.
To a potential client buyer coming in, if I had to tell them something about the company, we will provide them the product that they purchased with us. We will go over the top to give them the home of their dreams.
They built us our dream home, and they made it a dream. They really did. My husband and I talked about this for 20 years, and we were very nervous, and he made it happen.
There you have it. A professional and experienced team working together to turn dreams into reality is what makes Bordeaux Builders, Inc. Albany's premier construction service.